Hey folks, AJ the CEO here, and in this video we're going to be expanding on Spring Creek Baptist Church to some work that we did earlier, and I want to take you along with me and just show you what they currently have and how we're going to expand it, and maybe it can give you some ideas for your ministry. So let's go. Hey folks, AJ the CEO here. If this is your first time stopping by the channel, thanks for stopping by. And on this channel, we focus on tips, training, strategies, reviews, and builds to help modernize your media ministry. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. And if you like what we're doing here, consider becoming a patron or a YouTube member by clicking one of the links down below. So Spring Creek Baptist Church is a awesome church outside of Richmond that I've done quite a few things for them. I've helped them do some training with them, built them a live streaming system, got their old Mac to communicate with doing lower thirds, moved their PTZ optics in the front, mounted that, ran cables all the way up there, started rewiring a whole bunch of stuff. And just like a bunch of other ministries, they've seen the value in having an extension and expanding on their online reach and the production quality of what they're doing. So what they want to do is add another camera outside of the 4K Panasonic that they actually bought from me. They want to expand and add another PTZ to go along with their existing one so they can control everything, because kind of like their media ministry has a small group of people, and they, instead of having somebody run up and adjust the camcorder in the front, they want to be able to control everything from the media booth and expand out what's available that shows on their TVs inside the sanctuary and inside of the church as a whole. So I want to walk you through what we designed for them and explain kind of what we're going to do with them. So right now they have an AJay Mini Pro that is connected to their Mac they're not using anymore. So the live streaming system that we built for them is now running Propresenter 7. That is being fed into the AJay Mini Pro for their scripture and lyrics. But then they're also running OBS on that system as well too, which it is fast enough to run. And that is what's streaming, and they're doing all the graphics. But we're slowly going to help them migrate to do all of the scenes that they have in OBS is going to be done in Propresenter instead. And I think we might get them to where they're using the AJay Mini Pro to live stream instead. But we'll talk about that later. Right now, they're just streaming. The only people who can see anything are the people who are online and the media ministry, because right now the sanctuary is not open for people to come in. What they want to do is the same thing that they're offering on their live stream. They want to start offering that on the televisions inside the sanctuary, as well as the televisions in the entrance. And they want to add another PTZ camera to control everything. So let's go ahead and cut over to Draw.io and let's go ahead and design this thing, shall we? All right, here we go. And our favorite little toy, Draw.io. And a bunch of people have asked me about this. This is completely free. It is https://draw.io. And that is what I'm using. They actually have a downloadable version that you can run, and that is what I'm using right now. But again, it is completely free. All right, let's go ahead and show you exactly what we're going to use in this setup. So let's go Spring Creek. And let's show what we got right now. So they have a streaming computer. And I'll use this one here. And say streaming PC. All right, and then we also have an AJay Mini Pro. All right, that is connected to this system over USB-C. And let's expand that cable here. All right. And I guess I need to start using the arrows because I had a lot of people ask me like which one goes here and there. So I'm going to leave the arrow so we can see which direction the connection is going, the data is going. Now this system is going to be looped back into the ATEM over HDMI. This is how we're going to be able to send the signal from Propresenter as a secondary monitor. That's really how it's going to act. All right. Now we also have, we're going to be adding this. This is going, and I don't like that color. Let's do it like this. And I know I'm nitpicking, but I kind of like all the stuff to look a certain type of way. That ain't working for me. Let's just do it this way. That's the exact same monitor. That one's better. All right, so we're going to be adding another monitor here, and this is going to be the multi-view. So this is going to be the HDMI out coming from here. Now, if you've been on my video long enough to know about the pros and cons of the ATEM Mini Pro, this is one of the issues. If you use the HDMI out, you can only have a program out, or you can have a multi-view. You cannot have both. That's the benefit of what the ATEM Mini Extreme adds. All right. So that is the multi-view coming out here. So we still have 3 more inputs. So we have a PTZ optics that we initially someone installed over like network, and it was very slow and laggy. We ran an SDI cable and converted it with a Blackmagic converter from SDI to HDMI and moved it to the front. Got a serial remote control, and now we can control that from the front for a front angle. So let's go ahead and add that in here. So we got this up here. So we'll say this is the front PTZ. And we're going to add our joystick here. Oops, not trying to make it bigger. PTZ remote. All right, so we got this connected to here. And let's do red, and that's going to be Cat 6. And then this is also, and I need to put a router because all of these are connected over a network. So network switch. Let's go with this one. All right, I'm going to try and put this up out of the way, make it easy. All right, and this is Cat 6, obviously, as well, too. We're going to change the color to match. All right, and that's for internet. All right, so we got that, and then we have a SDI to HDMI converter here. And we're running an SDI cable from the camera all the way up and around back to here. All right, so that's what we got. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. That's what's going on right now. So what we want to do is they have 2 monitors in the sanctuary right now that were connected to the existing Propresenter that was hooked up to their Mac. All right, so this is Sanctuary TV left, Sanctuary TV right. All right, now they already have this connected over a splitter that's right on the wall of the media booth, and so we don't have to run anything new. This is already connected, which makes this really easy. So it goes here, goes there, and what color we do that? HDMI was blue. All right, so that was already in place. So we don't have to do anything really new with this. But let's get this up out of the way, make it easier to get here. So what we need to do is how they want to be able to broadcast just the presentation stuff on the TVs. And actually, there's another TV I forgot about. This is going to be Sanctuary TV back wall. So actually, all of these right now are connected like this. All right. So right now, all of these TVs show the exact same thing. But what they want to do is they want to be able to show the Sanctuary front, left and right. They want to be able to show full screen Propresenter, whatever comes out of that. The back TV, they want to use as a stage display for their praise team, their choir, and pastor ministers that are on the pulpit. And they're the only ones that are going to be able to see that. Now, the issue with that, this is really easy to do. We would just need to put a graphics card in here that can have 1, 2, 3, 4 outputs, which is possible, but you just can't get a graphics card at a reasonable price to do that. So how we're going to avoid that is we're going to install 2 Blackmagic mini monitor 4Ks. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 of these in here. Number 2. Now we'll be able to do this because I know the system that's in here is actually using a Ryzen 5 3400G. So all of the slots are available. It actually has a Decklink mini recorder 4K in there that they're not using. So we're going to take that card out and we're going to put the mini monitors in there instead. Now this would give us 2 dedicated outputs. So one of these is going to feed, we're going to break this connection here, and we're now going to feed HDMI out into this splitter. All right. And this is going to be going from Propresenter 7 to feed just full screen everything that goes here. Now in Propresenter, you can actually set, and I've done this before at our church, you can set any of your displays. If your video card supports it, or you have one of these Decklink mini monitors, you can go in there and use them as a specific output. So we're going to set number, and I had them backwards, but it doesn't matter the number. The second mini monitor is going to go directly. We're going to break the split. We're going to remove this extra split to this monitor, and we're going to run a SDI cable right to the TV that's right above the media booth. Get another converter on here, and we're going to connect SDI to here. All right, and let's move this up just a little bit. All right, so now this is going to now be our stage display. And Propresenter is going to handle all of this. All right, and then here is going to be I'll say full screen Propresenter 7. All right, so that's going to split the same signal. All of that is going to drive all of this. So this is, let's set it to this so we know that this is new. That's what we're going to be adding. Currently, they don't have this monitor either. So this is going to be new. What else? All right. Yeah. So that's good so far. And then these converters are new, and I need to place this here. So it's easy to know what is new and what isn't. All right. So this is what we got so far. That's what we're adding, but we're also going to add another PTZ at the back. So now this is going to be our back PTZ. And what we're going to do, it has the converter just like we use in the other one. So what we need to do is this, we're going to break the connection that's going to the camera in the front because they daisy chain off each other. So we're going to run a cable to here. That's going to be our Cat 6. And then the cable that's already running all the way back here, we're going to add a coupler onto that and reconnect it to this front one. So actually I should have said this is, so this is, I have the arrow. So this is going out from the remote into the back camera. And then this other camera is going out to the in of the front PTZ. So now the remote can control both. You know, of course, we have to run network to that one as well too, so that we can remote into it and control it. And then we're going to have another SDI to HDMI converter on here. Run an SDI cable to this. All right. So now we're going to have 1, 2. Now they already still have their Panasonic camera on a tripod with a very, very long HDMI cable. So we're still going to use that as well too. And that's going to connect into here as well. And what color did we do HDMI? We did that blue. All right. So let's change this color because this is going to be new as well too. And that's what we're going to be able to add. It's going to give us the functionality. So we're still going to be able to stream. They have a choice of streaming from the ATEM Mini Pro or OBS. It is fast enough, but ideally is we're going to change this from the streaming PC into Propresenter only. And this is going to feed into that system. And Propresenter is how you'll play all the videos, everything that they were doing originally as multiple scenes in OBS. We're going to push all of that instead of OBS and let it run on Propresenter. That will allow when they play, it will go to the TVs already and it will go to the live stream. And that's going to be going through our mini monitors. That's how it's going to feed everything. Because again, if we were trying to do all of this from the ATEM Mini Pro, we would lose the multi-view. All right. So this is the design that we're going to be adding. And I know I tell myself not to say this. This really should not take very long because the main thing is, oh, you know what? I completely forgot something. I knew I forgot something. We actually have a TV in their entrance TV. So we actually have to do another, we're going to split off of this. And actually, no, we don't need to split off of this because when you're running the mini monitor, you have SDI out and HDMI out going at the same time. So we're going to run an SDI cable all the way to this front entrance television. And that's going to be SDI. And we painted that green. And we need to have another SDI to HDMI converter. I don't know why I did it that way. All right, so this one is going to also be new here. So now it's going to, and I guess I should have copied this as well too, so we know what output is going to show on the screen. So all three of these screens will have the exact same picture on them. So all of these are going to have the same display. This one is going to have just notes and pictures and stuff like that for everybody that's on the pulpit. All right. So that's going to be really cool. Again, we just have to have a converter that goes to here. Excuse me, not the converter. We need to have the RS-232 that connects to Ethernet. That will plug into the back of this camera. We run the original cable from the joystick to this camera, loop it out into the line that we ran all the way to the front to the other PTZ optics camera that's in the front. Set this one at ID number 1, change this one to ID number 2. So that when we press the buttons on the remote for 1 and 2, just like I did in my church, we can change both of them. That is being fed into the ATEM. So you got camera number 1 is PTZ, the back PTZ. Front PTZ is number 2. You have the Panasonic camera, that's number 3. And then you have the Propresenter out is going into the system. Now, because we have that, we actually have the ability to have 3 different displays, because we have the HDMI in that is going to be the exact same output that is going into this. Now, let me take that back. You have multiple ways you can do this. We can duplicate the mini monitor that's going to the TVs, can be full screen all the time. But in Propresenter, we can set the HDMI that's coming from the system to say, oh, we always want that formatted as a lower third. That's an option, so that anytime it's being displayed on the live stream, it's always going to be in a lower third configuration. That is an option. And then our other mini monitor is going to be set as a stage display. It's always going to convert everything into just a black and white screen for simplicity for everybody to read from the pulpit. So it's a lot of configuration and a lot of options with this, but this just shows you that once you think through the path, there's a lot of things that you can actually do with your system. I'm going to take y'all along with me. Just got to wait for the funds to show up in the account. I just deposited the check that they gave me. I'm going to order all this stuff, and then I will take y'all along when we install it. And like I said, the good thing is we already ran that cable, the long cable, all the way to the front of the sanctuary. So now the longest cable we're going to have to run is maybe 60 feet from the media booth up to that entrance TV. And to be quite honest, I could not even use that. I could use a wireless HDMI to go there. That is a possibility. Then I wouldn't even have to run cable. Might think about doing that. Never know. Because if we did that, I can just put that on that splitter, make that a 1x3 or a 1x4 splitter, put the wireless let me go back over here. We can put a wireless HDMI, and I'm not in the way. We would put the wireless HDMI on here, and let's just show you if we went in this direction. And I'll just use this one here. We would run this into the wireless adapter. Why is it not letting me connect it? Okay. We'll run this into here. And then we would just have the receiver on the TV, similar to how I have it in my chapel. And this isn't going to be that big of an issue because there's no speakers in the entrance. So if it's slightly delayed, it doesn't really matter. The good thing is we do have an option. The cable will be rock solid. Wireless, it should work. But again, it doesn't really matter. We have both options. That converter is around like $59 with the cable and all the connections and stuff like that. It's coming up to almost about the same as if we got the wireless HDMIs, like $115, from $105 up to like $130. So that will work fine if we need to. And if we ever needed to expand and add more TVs, what we could do, especially if they're not in the vicinity of the sound, like we talked about before, we can put like one of those HDMI to coax RF modulators on here, and then we just run coax to all the other TVs, and it'll just be a channel. That gives us so many other options. So like I said, we can completely bypass this second run if we wanted to, but the card is already going to be there, so we have the ability to do it. But anyway, I've blabbed enough. Hopefully that will give y'all some ideas on how you can expand out what you got right now. I got a couple of these videos, so be on the lookout. We're going to have a bunch of these design ones, especially for the church I'm going out to California next week. We're going to be designing this, so that's probably going to be the next video that I actually do. But down below will be a link to every single thing that we're going to be using for this install. I'm going to take y'all along with me. This honestly is about one day's work. I've already been where the cables need to go, so that's not going to be an issue. It's mainly just pull a long enough cable and move the ladder, and that's literally it. And then run it down the wall to where that TV is, put the adapter, then everything else is concentrated right there in the media booth. So at max, need a 6-foot ladder to get to everything. So we're not hanging TVs or nothing like that, but this one should be pretty straightforward. So excited to up their game, and I think the pastor is seeing the significance of being able to reach so many more people in online ministry, and it shows them it's worth investing in making the production a lot better to give you more enticing angles, and just the options and the technology is cheap in comparison to what it used to be. So, I think this is a worthwhile investment for the media, and I'm just thankful that they contacted me and to help them out with that. So if you like this type of content, I appreciate a like, consider subscribing, and hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. Like I said, if I didn't say it already, a link is down below to everything else that I mentioned here. I think I said that already. But anyway, I want to thank the patrons and the YouTube members for making this video possible. Their names on the screen right now, and you too can become a patron for as little as $1 a month, or you can become a YouTube member by clicking the join button below. No matter which way you pick, folks, you are helping us train and empower media ministries all over the world. Thanks for watching, folks. This is AJ. We will see you on the next video. Later.